Let's learn about some operators that is available in the Python in this lecture. So first of all, as in always, we start with the addition. So we have the addition operator. So you can add any numbers. So this is to add two operands or a unary plus. That can be addition of a single operands. So the next one is a subtraction. So you can do this subtraction. And the next one is a multiplication operator, which is going to multiply the two operands. And next one is a divide left operand by the right one. So you can say something like 6 division of 3. It is going to give us the number in the float. So if you do something like 7 divided of 3, you are going to get the decimal 2. So this is the division, and the next one is a modulus, which is going to give us the remainder of the division. So if I say 78 divided by 9, and okay, 78, and it is modulus to get the remainder, and you are going to get the remainder is a 6 because 9 8 is with the remainder of 6. You can just see over here. So the next one is a floor division. This is important. So when I just say 5 and divide this with, let me say 4, you are getting only 1, and this floor division is the division that results into the whole number adjusted to the left in the number line. So if I say that let me divide with 9, you'll get the gist over here. So it is giving us the whole number, that is the result. If you see 78, that is modulus of 9 was 6, so it is just erasing that remainder and giving us the whole number that is adjusted to the left in the number line. That means this 8 is given over here in the floor division, and we normally call this as a floor division. And the next one is our exponent. So when I say 9, and in order to do exponent, you have to just give this double asterisk. Okay, this is double asterisk and 2, and it is giving us 91 because 9 of power of 2 is 81, which is 9 multiplied by 9, which is 81. And this is the sum arithmetic operation that is given in a Python. And we have now the comparison operator. So comparison operator starts from the greater than sign. So if I say 4 is greater than 5, false, because it is not true. So this is the comparison. So you get the value as a boolean when you do the comparison. So next thing is, if 5 is greater than 4, yes, that is true. So next thing is, you can see the smaller. So 4 is smaller than 9, which is true. So this is another. So let me just clear this. So the next one is equal to. So if I say 5 is equal 9, which is false. If 6 is equal to 6, which is true. This is the double equal, which means that if this 2 is equal, so if you do something like 6 equal 6, this is not valid because you are just assigning here. So single equal means the assigning, you are just trying to assign 6 to the 6, which is invalid. So if you want to check 6 is equal to 6, that means it should be 6 equals 6. If I say something like A and B is 6 and 6, and if I check A is equal to B, it is giving us true because we have a multiple assignment of 6 and 6 to the A and B, and we are checking this condition, which is obviously the true. So next one is not true. So if I say A is not equal to B, which is false because A is equal B. It's same saying that 6 is not equal to, okay, 6 is not equal to 7, which is true because 6 is not equal 7. So next one is greater than equal or less than equal. So it will just be something like 5 is greater or equal to 6, which is false because 5 is smaller than 6. So both of these condition is false. If I say something like 9 is greater or equal to 9, it is true because 9 is equal to 9. So either of these conditions should be true if this has to be true. So this is your comparison operator, and it is really easy and important, the comparison operator. So the next one is logical operator, and we have AND, OR, and NOT as a logical operators. So let's see how this logical operator work. So first of all, let me say something like A should be let me say 7, and B should be 8. So I'm just saying that A is equal, which is basically A equal or greater than 90, and B equal 8. So it is false. Here it is false. If you see here, we have given the two condition over here, which is saying, so first of all let's see this one. It is saying B is equal 8. Here the B value is 8 and 8 is equal 8, which is equal. That means you can see this condition over here. When the two number are equal, it is going to give us a true. So this part is true. But here you can see that A value is 7 and 7 is greater or equal to 90, which is obviously false. So if any of this condition in the either side of AND is false, then it is going to give us a false. So if it has to be true, both of these conditions should be true in the case of AND. So if you say something like A is equal to 7 and B is equal to 8, then it is true, because each of these condition, each of this statement is true. That means it will give us true. But if it is the case for the OR, I'll say 90 OR now, not AND, and B is equal 8, it is giving us true. So you can see here, if one of the condition is true, that means this OR will just make us happen that is true. It should not need that each of these conditions should be true. Either of these condition is true. It is saying something like this should be true or this should be true. If any of one of these true, then it is going to give us the true condition. That is for the OR. And in the case of a NOT, you can simply do that something like not of true is false or not of false is true. So this is basically the inverse of whatever you just pass with the not. So this is the case when you just see we have the logical operators. So we have checked here the arithmetic operators, we have checked the comparison operator, we have also learned about the logical operators and OR and NOT operators. They are really important operators. So next thing is to learn about the import statement, which is really easy to use. So in order to do that, let me just create the new file, and over here let me just close this first one. Okay, we have here. So I'll just go to the help and Python docs, which is the document section. In the left hand side you have the module section. So goes to the module section. Let's go to the module section and just press R over here. So we have this R random module. So let's see this random module. So a random is basically a module. That means it is the class containing all of these methods. So everything you see here is inside this random. So if you want to make use of this random, or if you want to use this random inside your file, you have to first make use of this import statement. So if you say import and random, you are saying something like random is inbuilt. So this has been created by the Python itself. Computer scientists have created this random module for us. So as a computer programmer, what we need to do is simply use them. So in order to use them, you have to make use of import statement and the module that you want to use. So if you want to use another module, so let's go back, or if you want to just make use of, let me say, any of this module, so you can say, okay, I'm just going over here, and if you want to make use of ABC module, then you'll see simply ABC, and now you can use the methods or all the functions of this ABC module. But for now I'll just say random. And now let's go back to the documentation, and let's go again for this R and random, and let's go down here and see this rand range method. So I'll just say print me random, and if you want to use the method of this module, you have to give the dot operator, because it has shown us here that functions for the integer, and if you want to make use of that rand range, it should be random first, that is the module, give the period and rand range. We'll learn about this in the detail when we just touch the classes and object in the Python. But for now, just remember we have to make use of this random module that we just use here, and dot and the rand range, which is the method inside this random module. So we are not creating any rand range method, we are just using that rand range from the random function or random module. So now we have to give certain things inside this rand range. So we have a start, we have a stop, and the step is optional. So anything you see inside this square bracket is optional. So we'll see start and stop. So I'll just say start should be 1, stop should be 6. So let me just print this, and let me save first, and let me just save 5, then we'll see 2. So what we are doing here is we are just creating, every time we run this program, it is generating the number from 1 to 5. Here it should be from 1 to 6, not 5, it should be from 1 to 6. So every time you just run this, new number arises. So every time you run this, okay, new number, and this new number again. So every time you run, it will be 1 to 6. So random is generating us a random number from 1 to 6. So this is the way to make use of this random. So if you just feel that random is too big to just write again over here, you can just give this random as R with this aliasing technique, which is just renaming your module with the name or with custom name, and now you can make use of R. Let's see, let's save this and run again, and it is going to give us a new number over here. So this is the way to import any module. So you can also import your math module. So what if I say import math, which is over here. So let's go to the documentation, and let's see for this random module, or basically math module. So it should be over here, math module, and you can now make use of all of these functions. So what if I just say math.self method, this method over here, then we have to make use of print method and math.ceiling, and let's give some decimal values, and let's save this, press F5, then you would see the ceiling value over here printed as 6. So you can see right here, which is getting us the value of 6. If you see here, the value is 6. So you can say the floor, if you want the 5 value to be printed, it should be math.floor. If you save this and press F5, 5 will be printed, which is the mathematical operation over here, which is saying here math floor, and it will return the floor of x, the largest integer less than or equal to x, which in this case is 5. So this is the way to import your module and call the method of that module using this period. And if you want to just rename this math as yum, you can do that. Now if you just say math.floor, it is not going to work because math has not been defined. You have just renamed this math as yum, so it should be yum now. Let's save this again and press F5, then you will see 5 again. You can also do something like from math module import me, if you want only some function, you can do something like this, from math module import me floor. So if you do this, now you do not need to just type here yum dot, because we have just included the floor method. Now you can simply call that floor method. Let's save this again, press F5, you will see 5 will be printed. But if you do something like yum dot or math dot floor again, it is not going to work because math is not defined, and you have just imported the floor from that math module instead of this math. So you should directly call the floor over here. So this is the way to import the other module from this inbuilt Python prepacks library, which is from this Python documents, and you can make use of all of the functions that is given over there in your Python file. So in the next lecture we'll see more concept of Python. See you in the next one.